Story time! Okay, so I'm gonna get into some more memories. As you know, I've been posting life memories and stuff like that because my memory has gotten better, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna post as many memories as I possibly can. I'm also have like some inspirational life advice videos. I'm kind of making those for my kid more than anyone, in hopes that they'll see them and kind of learn some lessons from it. And generally, just for friends and family and the few fans that I do have, I'm generally just having a really good time. But to kind of get into it, it's this one's about a landlord that we had, and this guy was just generally not very cool. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to like put him on blast. It starts with a J, but he was terrible. And yeah, he was our landlord at the our Spring Hill house, and we'll kind of just get into that and like, just have a little life story time, I guess, because I know you guys enjoy the life stories. So, our landlord, he would randomly show up, and when he did show up, it was completely unannounced. There was no call, there was no text or anything like that. He would just be walking around the property, or he would just show up and knock at like, late hours, like when we're like trying to go to bed and stuff. And it's like, oh my God, bro. Can you give us some freaking space to like exist? And he just didn't really respect that. He would just show up and when he did show up, it was for hours, bro. He would literally be there for the longest time. And it just made everyone really uneasy, and we just couldn't really live our lives. So it got to the point where it was very frequent. And it was just so bad, bro. Have you guys ever experienced anything like that? Let me know if you've ever had someone that just kind of shows up randomly and just doesn't give you the space that you need, and it just kind of really kind of sucks, honestly. But it created this like constant tension where we really never felt comfortable in our own home. And when you're trying to chill, you're trying to watch movies and stuff like that, or clean house or whatever, you don't want to have to prepare for some. We didn't even have time to prepare, actually. It just like it made us feel uncomfortable in our own home. And he was always trying to like talk about, oh, you should do this as a job. Or he would always try to like steer me towards like one certain path in life, and I really can't stand that when people are like, they're just like trying to give you this advice, like, of basically trying to tell me what to do with my life. And, after we actually answer the door and stuff like that, we couldn't not answer the door because he would just keep knocking, or he would possibly even evict us, so we really kind of had to play by what seemed like his rules. But yeah, it really created this feeling that we weren't living in our own place. It didn't feel like our own home. It didn't feel like that because he would always make it known, this is my house. And he never would live that down, And we took care of the house, We even fixed a bug problem that the house had when we first moved in. And he didn't care about that. He didn't even acknowledge that, He would just always complain or try to tell me, like I said earlier, what to do with my life and stuff like that. And he's generally just a mean guy in general. And constant tension's not good for anyone, bro. Living like that is just, it's going to contribute to like, depression and anxiety and stress. And it definitely stressed my girlfriend out a really good bit. And, seeing her stressed out, it bothers me because, that's someone that I love dearly. It's someone that I really care about. And I want to make sure that they're, happy and that they're feeling well and that they feel welcome in their own home. And just, yeah, another thing he did when he would linger for like extended periods of time is he would just like make small talk, like in between, telling me what to do or complaining about things. He would just make small talk in general and just constantly, I mean, it would be hours, bro. He would be there for hours, like to past the point where we would normally be going to bed. He would be there and he would just keep on going, and there was like no end to his freaking, there would be no end to his constant yapping, and you couldn't even get a word in, bro. Like he wouldn't let anyone else talk. So that on top of the complaining and all the other stuff is just crazy, bro. And yeah, sometimes he would literally just nitpick things that didn't even matter. Like he was literally, what I think is that he was looking for problems. And people like that are just toxic, bro. Like just constantly looking for problems, constantly looking for things to complain about, constantly looking for issues not only in the house but in the people within the house. And it's like, bro, give us a break. Let us freaking breathe. Let us live our life. Let us enjoy our home. You know, we fixed your bug problem. Like, why would you, constantly nitpick stuff? Like, we made it a better home, and we generally just took really good care of that place, and he never acknowledged that. Um, but yeah, my girlfriend felt especially uneasy. And it felt like she personally just felt like she was being watched or judged all the time. And there was zero respect for boundaries. It really didn't even feel like our space at all. And his attitude would switch really fast too. Like he was bipolar or something. He would go from fake friendly to straight up rude or passive aggressive in the span of seconds. And just looking back, it wasn't only just annoying, but it genuinely made living there stressful and uncomfortable. And yeah, like we eventually moved out. We did the best we could to try to move out because he ended up selling the house or something of that nature, and we couldn't really afford to buy it for the price he was selling it for. Because like if he sold the house, then we wouldn't have to deal with him anymore, So it was really cool, but our credit wasn't good enough and all that stuff. So we kind of couldn't get it in like the way that we wanted to. So we did the best that we could to clean it up and get all our stuff out of there. But dude, like a few months later, his kids, which are fully grown adults, were texting us saying, "Oh, we're gonna charge you all this money," and they were trying to charge us money for stuff we didn't even do. And I actually had my mom write a message to them, basically saying, that something happened with my kid that we could have sued them for, and some other stuff. So it was a really long and like very thought out message. She's very good with legalese and like she's like a lawyer, bro. So yeah, we ended up avoiding having to pay anything, and we never had to talk to them again. So in the end, it all kind of worked out. We're living in an apartment now, and we absolutely love where we live, and life is great. So yeah, I probably will never rent again though. So lesson learned: don't rent unless the landlord's not a complete asshole. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. That's all I got.